I am. So welcome. It is February 19th, and this is our team Zoom call. Woot! Little bit of recognition that we're just going to start off with. So Jen and I think we're going to we just want to kind of start to make a habit of this, but tonight I want to recognize Joyce Conkle for going way out of her comfort zone and running a free clean eating group pretty much on her own, because I have been not very available this past week. I've been figuring out what it's like to be blonde. But anyway.
All week.
What?
You've been a witch all week.
I know. I'm coming out of it though. Anyway, this is about Joyce, not me. Anyway, but she's actually developed a great posts and things for her people, and she's got probably 8 or 9 people in there, Joyce. So, but yeah, so she's told me several occasions that she's scared out of her mind, and that's where the magic happens. So congratulations, Joyce. And I think that's awesome. You know, that you're going to be building relationships that are going to be really positive and helping people to establish great habits. So, Jan.
Cool. Yeah, I actually wanted to highlight 2 tonight. Stacy, she couldn't be on. Maybe she'll pop on later, but hopefully she'll see this recording. I was looking around her business page, and I'm really impressed with her cover photo. I don't know if you've seen that. Somehow I missed it, or maybe it's new. But if you guys are looking for just kind of an idea of what a good cover photo looks like for your business page, take a look at Stacy Roman's. Yeah, I need to ask her who did it for her. Maybe she did it herself. I don't know, but it looks really good. And then Lauren, also, Lauren's business page, your content on your business page is good, like valuable information. And so I was reading through some of it, and I think you really have a gift for in your writing. Like the posts that you write on there, I think are really well written and they're funny. And I think that you speak to, it's clear to me who your audience is. And I wish that I had you when I had babies, because I think that it would have been very helpful. So kudos to you.
Great. Awesome. Congratulations to all of you just on the progress. I know so many of you are out of your comfort zones. I am out of my comfort zone almost daily, and I think Jen would say the same thing. And again, that's how we grow. So this is a good thing. And that's the ways in which we get to connect with people and have meaningful relationships, but it's comfortable in the beginning. So few announcements. We have 9 days left in the month. We're in the midst of Team Cup. Almost all of you are on a team. And there you might think, oh my gosh, there's only 9 days. So much can happen in 9 days. So much can happen in one day. So all of us have to have long-term vision as far as when's our challenge group starting, and we should be sprinkling. I've actually, because of what I've been up to, just haven't done it to the amount that I'd like to, but intentional posts that have really well planned out at high traffic times, and then sprinkle through, doesn't need to be like, hey, join my challenge group. But showing the value of a challenge group in the way that you're sharing and posting how you're encouraged, or a recipe you got from someone or whatever. So Team Cup is great. Connect with your team, encourage your team, share your journey, share value, make it fun. Be fearless. You got nothing to lose, really. So a couple other things. Tuesday, February 28th at 12:30 p.m. If you're someone who has daytime availability, I'm going to be leading the DFG call. DFG, Destined for Greatness, is Lindsay Stay's downline. It's a few chunk above us. If you're interested in taking part, I'm going to be talking about kind of what I presented a month or so ago on overcoming the overwhelm of things, but I'm going to kind of beef that up a little bit. So if you want to take part and you're not in the DFG team page, let me know and I can add you so you can have access to that. April 8th is Super Saturday. Now's the time to think about that. Jen and I are going to get something going here in Williamsport on April 8th for Super Saturday. So please mark your calendars. If you're from out of town, you're welcome here. But also if you're from out of town and there's, I'm sure, Tess, there's stuff around you, or, Melissa, there's going to be stuff in Maryland, things like that. So check into it, because even if you go by yourself, it's a super cool opportunity and event to connect with other coaches. So today's topic, this is kind of a lot of you, even if you've been around for a while, or kind of at the beginning of getting your grounding and going for it. So today we're talking about the leadership ladder is kind of actually the big topic to start casting vision, setting goals, looking at the big picture. Those of you who've been participating in Coach Basics have been establishing routines, putting into practice important habits such as tracking your business, establishing your business or hours, and your habits of doing the 4 vital behaviors. What I'll tell you is all the stuff we're going to talk about is possible if you are doing your 4 vital behaviors. But if you're not doing your vital behaviors, then probably the other stuff's not going to come, or at least not at the rate you would like it to. So that's kind of where you have to start. So we talk and we say, okay, first thing, you want to start a challenge group and you want 3 to 5 people. And then you're like, okay, then what? And then usually the next thing is, okay, get to Emerald. You need 2 active coaches, 1 on each leg. And then now what? And then the next thing would be, okay, go for Diamond. But honestly, that's a very standard kind of progression. But Beachbody kind of realized that, you could literally be a Diamond coach with just friends and family who have 0 interest in building a business and not actually be maximizing the potential of where you are rank-wise. So they kind of created the leadership ladder, which is essentially a way of having benchmarks that include rank, but it's not just rank, to know that you're progressing and to give you something to shoot for, and to just say, okay, I know where I need to be going next. So, because just because you're Emerald or Diamond or whatever, and or Ruby, unlock the ability to earn Team Cycle bonus, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're earning that income to maximize that compensation plan. So Jen's going to talk in a couple minutes. I'm going to go over a couple things and then about kind of why Emerald matters as your first step, and important points having to do with that. But first, I'm just going to introduce the leadership ladder. Helps you use your rank to its maximum potential. So the majority of you right now are at coach. Kind of when you come in, you are coach rank. So, sorry. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip over to some, I'm going to screen share. Bear with me for just a moment. And keep questions, because I'm hoping that I'm just going to give you kind of, I'm not going to go into extreme depth. What I want to tell you is there's so much information and wonderful information and great teaching by other coaches. Almost everything Jen and I have learned, we've kind of just gone and figured out ourselves, because YouTube's awesome. And that type of thing. So know that the information is there to go deeper. And the more you understand, knowledge is power. Knowledge is, in reality, it's almost kind of income to an extent. So, gonna just do this. So you should be able to all see my screen here. And if you can't, let me know. So you've all jumped in. Some of you have been here longer than others. Did the business quick start, getting started right call with your coach, training. Most of you are in Coach Basics. Having a personal development thing. I stole this slide, so I don't know what print means. But anyway, we talk about your first goal being Success Club 5, and we'll talk about what a business starter is. And goal 2, Emerald and Team Builder. Well, what does that mean? So Beachbody has created, if you see right here, business starter, team builder, team leader, organization leader, executive leader. They have created this, these benchmarks. We've got, the very beginning, we've got the benchmarks for the business starter. When you come in, what is the first thing that you want to reach for? And so that is the business starter, you know, earning at least $100 a month. Wouldn't it be great to have your Shakeology covered right there? That's a win. So how do you do this? How do you reach for business starter? You reach for business starter by doing your 4 vital behaviors, right? So hitting Success Club and doing that, setting an example for your future team. You don't know who's watching you. So you may say, I don't really have a team. No, but there are people who are watching you who are going to be on your team. And so, you know, I love Sarah's on this call. She made a wonderful, beautiful statement on somebody's post recently about the fact that she kind of watched me for 8 months or so. And I invited her and she said no. And then I think I kind of have lost track. But then, you know, when she was ready, she jumped in, and you got to keep that in your mind. So anyway, this is your kind of first goal, the business starter. So going back here, we look, you know, the Commission Success Club, highest paid rank. That's kind of what we're going for here. So for a lot of you, this is your goal right now. I will share these slides so you don't have to write all this stuff down. But you are connecting with people daily. This is all the stuff that we're doing in Coach Basics and encouraging. Enroll in Coach Basics, woot! Listening to the national wake-up calls, attending training events, Super Saturday. I will tell you that going to those events, great momentum. For you personally, which usually, you know, transfers into business momentum. So knowing the 4 vital behaviors, knowing your story and how to share it, knowing social media skills, knowing the value of Shakeology, importance of a challenge pack, basic compensation details. If you haven't checked out, you know, the information on how do I earn and all that kind of stuff, make sure you know that. But a lot of this is what the majority of you are doing right now, and that is great. What I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to actually jump on over to my online office, which you should be able to see. And if you go to your main screen in your online office, here we go. Here we see, okay, Success Club qualification. Well, check it out. There's a leadership ladder tab. That's going to show you your personal kind of where you are on that ladder. What I really want to show you too here is under news and training, and you click on training. Hopefully you may have found this, but here's leadership ladder. Okay, over here on the left, there's some great videos on this. Here is basically that graphic that we were just looking at. And so here's what some of you are kind of where you're hanging out. Learn More is going to lead you to some great training, just some really awesome stuff. So I'm going to click on that. So you see, this is basically everything that we just saw on that previous slide. A lot of this is, there's just know that this stuff is here for you, okay? And you can kind of go find your way through it, etc. So, sorry, I'm having trouble. There we go. I think we're probably going to jump over. Okay, so the next slide here is the team builder. This is the Emerald Coach or higher, and Jen's gonna talk a little bit about what it means to be an Emerald Coach and why it matters. So I'm gonna stop the share and take it away, Jen.
Okay, so yeah, being an Emerald Coach, we've talked about this before. I'm just gonna highlight a few things. That essentially, being an Emerald Coach means that you have 2 personally sponsored coaches. You have 2 legs on your Beachbody graphical genealogy. That's what it's called. So you have 2 legs, just like you as a human have 2 legs. You will only ever have a right leg and only ever have a left leg. So when you have 1 personally sponsored coach on your left leg and 1 personally sponsored coach on your right leg, who are both active coaches, that makes you an Emerald Coach. Okay, so I want to emphasize though that once you do that, so once you have 1 coach on your right leg and 1 coach on your left leg, doesn't mean you're done. You want to keep continuing to add coaches into your organization. So why is that important? So first of all, I think that when you're an Emerald coach and you're adding coaches into your business, you're growing your business, but you're also helping more people that way. So you're helping, you're helping those two coaches, of course, but then think about the impact that they're having on their circle of influence as well. People that you can't necessarily reach because you just don't have personal contact with them, but they do. And so you're able to pour into those coaches, just like we're able to pour into you guys. And then you're able to pour into other people who hopefully are able to pour into other people. And so, yes, you're growing your business, but you're also growing the opportunity to affect more and more and more people for their health. So I think that's super important to highlight. Perks of being an Emerald coach, besides what I just said, you start to earn what's called Team Cycle bonus. And Emily's going to talk a little bit about this. So I won't spend a ton of time on this, but Team Cycle bonus, essentially, when you start sponsoring coaches and you have coaches in your organization and you're an Emerald coach, you start earning an income on whatever your coaches bring into their business. And it all kind of starts to add up. So that's a perk, commission wise. Now, as an Emerald coach, we earn $14 per cycle bonus. We'll talk about what that means a little bit. So I don't want to lose you here. As a Ruby coach, you're in $16 per cycle bonus. And as a Diamond coach, I believe you're in $18. And so you have to be an Emerald coach in order to earn Team Cycle bonus. So in order to start earning an income on whatever your coaches in your organization are doing, you have to be an Emerald coach in order to earn that income. So that's a perk. Also, when you're an Emerald coach, you will start to get free leads from the company, which is awesome. Free leads. And so these are people that have, either maybe they've seen an infomercial on TV for Beachbody and they have signed up for a free coach. The company gives those leads to us as long as you're an active Emerald coach. Maybe they have heard something on the radio. I don't know I know if you live in Williamsport or Comey County, you have heard this on the radio. I don't know about the rest of you, but Carl Deichler is on the radio all the time in Williamsport for advertising Beachbody on demand all the time. Yeah. On major radio stations. And so my kids and I practically can say the radio commercial by now. And so if somebody hears that and they sign up for a free Beachbody on demand trial, those of us that are Emerald coaches, the company gives those to us. And then after that free 30 days, if they decide to sign up for it, we get that commission. Also, if you are an Emerald coach and you hit Success Club in this month, let's say February, then in March, you'll start to get Success Club leads. You will also, if you hit Success Club 10, you'll also start to get paying leads, which is really nice. So basically somebody who you don't know calls, gets online, whatever, orders Shakeology, you get the commission. It's free money. So lots of reasons to be an Emerald coach. And if you have questions, we're going to leave some time at the end for Q&A. So hold on to your questions. Did I miss anything? You're muted.
Yeah. No, and we're not going to be able to cover every little bit of everything in this. So yes. Just know that the questions that are left with you, just keep going, keep learning. Thank you, Jen. Good stuff. I'm just looking at my notes. So just to kind of come back, I'm going to screen share one more time. So Emerald is a step, but you can sit at Emerald with two coaches, which if they're discount coaches, they don't always stick around forever. And then you're not really benefiting from being an Emerald coach. So the benefit comes as you continue to grow. Offering the discount to people right off the bat, great way to kind of get yourself going. I do it because I want people to have the chance to save if they think they're going to continue to use. So some people are like, that sounds bad. Continue to use Shakeology. So if, sometimes we're like, oh, I feel kind of weird about offering. Don't feel weird. If your motivation is to try to get yourself a rank advancement, then yes, feel weird. But if your motivation is to try and help someone save some money in the future, great. Because the reality is, if they go as a customer, you're going to be earning commissions from them. If they're a discount coach, then, you know, they're going to be saving and you're going to be getting volume. So you don't need to feel weird about that. I think you just need to be upfront that, hey, you can look at my wording in the ready to order script and you'll see how I do it, and it works very well. You may have your own wording, but just so you know that that's there for you. Moving right along, I'm sharing my screen again. And here we go. All right, so team builder. This is kind of like, okay, I've hit Emerald rank. I'm earning about $250 a month. When you think about that, minus your Shakeology and your business expense, you're getting a little nice, you know, kind of extra stipend a month. Hitting Success Club 5 is the goal for a team builder every month. Having 2 personally sponsored coaches with at least 1 Success Club point each month. This isn't saying they're hitting Success Club, but they're having at least that. So this is that vision of, this isn't just about adding discount coaches. This is about attracting like-minded people with whom you would love to reach the world. And then a minimum of $200 in team volume on your weak leg. And some of you are like, what does that mean? Good question. So everybody has 2 legs, as Jen talked about. And it's going to be different for each person. So for instance, when I first signed up, I'm looking backwards. This is ugly. I looked and I was like, oh, on this leg, there's already some people, but they're not my coaches. I'll never forget Jill Latshaw. I watched a video and she was like, not your coach, not your problem. Don't worry about it. But what that tells you, if you go into your back office and you look your graphical genealogy and you see some people that aren't your coaches, you learn, okay, that is my strong leg, because that means that somebody above me is also placing coaches. Some people do not have a very obvious weak and strong leg, and that is okay. It's kind of luck of the draw where you get placed. But the big thing to know is that if there's a leg that has 0, that is solely up to you to build. So one of the things in which we're aiming to do is to build volume on both legs. And the way that what I'm going to say about Team Cycle Bonus is go watch a video about it. Because the videos from Beachbody are excellent. And rather than me taking the time to explain it right now, and P.S., there's a post in our challenge group on this, or our team page, where I posted like 3 essential videos about understanding commission and Team Cycle Bonus. If you want me to tag you in it, let me know. I'll be happy to do that. But you're going to learn better from that than me trying to explain. But you need to understand that. So this is what the bottom line of all of this that I want you to understand is that Beachbody has done a wonderful job of giving us benchmarks and things to reach towards, with the ultimate goal of, I love that Jen brought up, of reaching more people. Building a team isn't, yes, it's the income is a huge part of it. And of course we want to maximize, you know, if we don't understand the strategy of these types of things, we could miss out. So that's why it matters. There is some understanding that needs to occur, but also it's the idea of the bigger this team grows and the network, like think about the far reach of who is having the opportunity to take part. So that keep that in the front of your mind. So just to kind of, this is a lot. So there is another, I'm not going to go over it. It will apply to a lot of you. I'm trying to multitask here. So this next screen here, in order to be a team builder, you have to have, be hitting Success Club 5 and an Emerald and 2, all of these things have to apply. And these are the things that you want to be doing. There are a couple of you who are at this point. There are a couple of you who are on the verge of this. Just know that this is here and present for you. Again, here's a slide. This is how you kind of check, where do I stand with the leadership ladder? I'm going to come back to that slide. So here's just a couple troubleshooting things. So I have a potential coach. What the heck do I do? First thing, talk to your upline sponsor. Or, you know, if your upline sponsor is not active, and that's Jen or I who are kind of your helping you, then, you know, talk to us. But the big thing is you want to set your preferred placement, which means you want to determine, you want control over where people are put so that you're strategizing and building your legs evenly and building up your weak legs so you can maximize your income. So, and I'm going to wrap this puppy up pretty quickly here so that we can get to some questions. But I just want to make sure that you all understand setting your preferred placement when you're in your back office. You go to My Business and look at this, My Preferred Placement. There's a couple ways to do this, but this is really straightforward. This is basically, don't worry about this stuff up here for you right now, but what you need to know is that you're always going to click left or right. Don't choose first available. Don't choose weak leg first available. Don't choose weak outside leg. Choose left or right, because our goal is to build in like a Christmas tree, directly outward. If you were to place someone by mistake on an inside or something like that, it could screw some things up, especially if that person wanted to build the business later. So that's the important thing to know.
Emily, where it says placement ID, do we need to put our coach ID there? I've heard different things on this.
No, you don't. If for some advanced coach placement things, like I can choose to place a coach on a leg that's then under Aiden so we can both benefit. That's when it matters. Okay. But for everybody here right now, no, just leave it. It will automatically be for you. But that is to indicate if you were going to place, you would only do this with a spouse signed. But this should always be your number unless you're understanding that. So it's important to know that you want, now sometimes somebody might sign up and you had no idea, and you can say that's the case and they're not where you want them. This is why we check our back office once you're pretty active on a fairly regular basis, because like somebody could have put in an order that you didn't expect or whatever. But you want to, I think you have 5 days to move them. So it's really important that you're on top of that, because I missed the ball on getting Aiden to Emerald, and it took me a while longer because I didn't know my aunt was going to sign up when she did. And I ended up having 2 coaches on one leg. So I had the 2 coaches, but they were on one leg. So I wasn't Emerald, or he wasn't Emerald. So anyway, something important to know as far as spouse place, signing a spouse, it is a very, if you're looking to build a business, it is a worthwhile thing to do. I'm not going to talk about that right now. And here's why. Some of you saw the video under Elizabeth's post in our team page. It's a great video. It's about 17 minutes long, but it will explain coach spouse signing and why it works or why it matters and why it's worth doing, but what you need to know if you're going to do that. It is a great video. It's one of those that I'm like, I'm not going to tell you this. Go watch the video. And if you have questions, talk to us. So this is, again, we're kind of covering a lot of different things, but the important thing is the long-term vision, the bigger goal of something that you're working toward. Questions. I know that's a lot. Nada.
Are your heads spinning?
My guess is that each individual person here has learned about some of these different things, but there are gaps. And so fill in the gaps by, there's the spouse placement video. There's all the commission, great stuff the corporates put out. If you don't understand team cycle bonus, do that. Then go pursue those things, then come and talk to us if it's still confusing. But anything from what we talked about today? Okay. I think I love the leadership ladder, and I think we can get really caught up in rank, especially before that existed. And I think it was Melanie Mitro who said, that kind of team builder is the new diamond. The idea that, you know, we talked about, oh, diamond is this big goal, and diamond is an important place to reach for. But the idea of really you can be a certain rank and not be maximizing the potential. And let's be honest, we all want to maximize the potential because of the freedom and the possibility and the fact of how many people that reaches. There's so many reasons. So knowing that the leadership ladder exists and keeping your eye on that and setting goals based on that is huge. There's some great YouTube trainings on it too. Questions? Cool. My encouragement to you is to keep going. This is actually, I'm going to share that final slide. A lot of you are in that beginning stage of like, I'm talking to a lot of people and I'm getting a lot of no's. You need to know that you're normal. There are so many people with whom I'm now working that, you know, either I didn't invite and they just watch me forever, or, you know, the time matters and the consistency matters. You have to, people say, you know, be here in a year, because you have to be willing to put in the time and also the consistency. If you're not practicing those vital behaviors, and, you know, for a long time, it took me a while to realize that personal development was important and what that does for my business. Now I just kind of, anytime I'm doing anything, I'm listening. But we can't just do personal development. We have to apply it. And that's a really important difference. So, you know, inviting, that's another thing that it took me a long time to actually realize that if I wanted to keep this thing moving forward, that was essential. I'm still not as consistent as I'd like to be, but I'm consistently doing it. Being a product of the product, we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to have, you know, whatever body, but we do need to be making progress and being willing to share. You know, we all take steps back, and that's okay. That makes us relatable, but then moving forward. So utilize your coach. You should all be in a challenge group. You should all be in a challenge group. Like if you want to be coaching other people, then you need to be actively doing a program, not just dabbling, but committing to a program and seeing it through. Okay. So last thing, I'm going to show you this slide. I just came across this. I was looking for some other things. And, oops, all right. Katie Hefner is a pretty successful coach. And I loved this slide that apparently I had screenshotted at one point when doing like a call. And it was on finding your specific voice as a coach, but I loved this. Her credentials initially, it took her 6 weeks to earn her very first commission check. In 3 months, she earned $176, which if you haven't earned anything might be like, oh, that's pretty good. But like, that's, you know, she was basically earning 73 cents an hour. 6 months it took her to actually earn Success Club. And in her words, she sucked as a coach. She's now a 4-time elite coach. You know, she's been the Million Club, 55 consecutive months at SC, earning approximately $412 an hour. Wouldn't that be nice? So I want to put that out there. And she is not, you might say, oh, well, that she's just one. There are so many people that they were willing to stick it out. And you got to be willing to stick it out, put in the development, and go for it. So hang in there. We believe in you. Other questions now in our last 30 seconds. Boop. Everybody smile. Picture time. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Cool. Well, if you have questions, let me know. If you want me to tag you in, or Jen tag you in one of the videos that you want to make sure that you're getting kind of caught up on. But don't feel like you have to know it all at once, but maybe commit to 1 video a day or something. Okay. Great. Yeah.
Hello.
Do you have anything?
Hey, buddy.
Hey. Cool. All right. Well, then this here ends the team Zoom call.
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.
Yeah.